So there is an interesting TikTok going around, and I am wondering if people think it was healthy for these parents to do, or is it going over the top?
It was too harsh?
Too harsh.
Yeah, so there's this guy named Kobe Pearson, and he does these TikToks. I guess he's always kind of done like prankish type TikToks, but in this one, he's actually appears to be trying to do good. And there was mixed feelings on how he's going about doing it. So basically what he does is he finds young girls on Facebook, Twitter, all different social media sites.
12, 13, 14,
usually,
15 years old.
Usually they're in the range of like 11 to 16-ish around there. And he pretends to be a strange guy who is making advancements at them. And so if it works, he eventually asks for them to meet him, whether it's in a public location or sometimes he'll actually come to their home. He's had young girls who have said things like, my father won't be here for the night, so if you want, you can come on over. Things like that.
So these young girls are putting themselves in very dangerous situations by inviting a perfect stranger who they think is their age, but it's actually a grown man, essentially entrapping them online to expose them.
This is like that Chris Hansen thing, except the parents are involved in it, right?
So that's what he does. So he's honest about his age. Sometimes he's not. He pretty much does whatever he feels like the flow will be. And every time that they accept, he'll show up and then they'll show up. But what they don't know is he shows up with their dad. And then their dad will jump out of nowhere and say, basically, what are you doing? And then it terrifies them. And in his mind, it's a good way to scare them into not doing this again. And here is a clip of an example of what he does.
I made a fake profile on Facebook posing as a 15-year-old boy. With the parents' permission, I friend requested 3 girls ages 14, 13, and 12 years old. I've been talking to these girls for the last 3 or 4 days, and today we're supposed to meet up. What we found in this video is shocking and something everyone should see. Be sure to watch until the end and use what we've learned in this video to better educate your friends and family. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. This first girl, her name is Michaela. She's 13 years old. We've been talking on Facebook for the last couple of days, and we're supposed to meet up at the park later when her parents leave the house. I'm just waiting right now to get the text that her parents have left the house. So I just got a text. My parents just left. I can be at the park in 10 minutes. We're gonna go see if she comes in 10 minutes. We're gonna go right now, set up all the cameras, and just be waiting there for her. So she said she's gonna meet me at the park playground. So this is the closest to her house, she said. So right now I'm texting her that I just got here. All right, we'll just wait, see what she says. She said, okay, I'll be there in 5 minutes.
Pause it for a second.
Michaela?
Where are you at? So, because you brought up Chris Hansen, and I feel like it's a switch of positions because he is catching the actual predator who this guy is pretending to be. Mm-hmm. So they're catching the kids in this instance for doing something that is dangerous. This feels dirty. Doing this to kids and videotaping it. That's the thing. Like, if they just did this,
but again, the parents were behind it.
I get it. The parents gave consent. And it'd be one thing if they just did this with the family to teach the daughter a lesson. But the fact that it's being filmed, and I know they're trying to send out a message and they're trying to save others by saying, see what she did, don't do this. It feels dirty.
Did you watch it, by the way?
No.
Okay, so they've blurred out the girls' faces, so you don't really know who they are, but you certainly know who their parents are because they're talking about it. I don't got a problem with it. I don't really have a problem with it. Again, if I'm a parent, I can use this to show to my daughter or my son, and the fact that she is not being exposed because you can't see the minor's face, I don't really have a problem with it.
Oh, it just doesn't
I was on that side of it too because I read the comments because I was interested in what a lot of parents felt, and it was pretty much well represented on both sides. But most parents seem to feel as if this were their daughter, and their daughter was actually doing this. They would rather this happen than their daughter actually go out there and meet a stranger.
You want to keep rolling?
Yeah.
From Facebook. Remember?
Michaela, are you crazy? Are you out of your mind?
Sorry.
He could have been a pedophile. Why would you do this?
Sorry.
Yeah, you know that I could have been anyone. Like you talked to me for the last 4 days. You've been talking to me on Facebook. Do you know that? Like, you shouldn't talk to strangers, especially online. Like, I wasn't even do I look the same as my picture? It could be even worse than that.
You realize how scary this could have been? We have to talk.
This next girl, her name is Juliana. She's 12 years old, and we're supposed to meet up tonight when her father falls asleep. So right now I'm here with John, who's Juliana's father. We're gonna see if she's actually gonna come to the door or not. She said, this was the last text, LOL, I would have to wait till my dad falls asleep if you want to chill, because I can't have boys over. So she wants to chill tonight, supposedly. What do you think about that?
I don't think she's gonna open the door. Gotta hope she doesn't open that door.
What's your address?
I pray she does not respond to this.
Well, I can't say the address, but she just literally just texted the address. Start driving to the address close by. All right, so she just said, I think my dad fell asleep. You can come now. One with the light right here?
Yes.
Come outside. Come to the front door. Are you ready? Sit you.
Juliana, get over here. Get over here. What's wrong with you? What's wrong with you?
I'm sorry.
How can you do this? You're 12 years old. This guy's 20 years old. You could have been raped and murdered. We already lost your mother. What would I do if anything happened to you? What would I do if anything happened to you? I love you. Don't you ever do this again. Don't you ever do anything like this again.
I'm sorry.
That's really hard to listen to.
So they're hugging at the end of it, and I think somewhere in there also he said, "I lost your mom. What would I do without you?" So it is hard to listen to, and man, now the more I'm listening to it, the more I'm starting to like bend on what you're saying also, because they're using names of the kids, and because you can see the parents' faces, the kids are going to be exposed at school, and kids can be so cruel to each other online also.
It's a valuable lesson, and I get that, and it's an important lesson, and I think this happens more often than we want to even admit and realize. I just don't know if this is the right tactic.
I also don't, for me, I agree. Like, I'm trying to go back and forth on it because, like, yeah, this is a good lesson, like, way to drive it home. I hate how the dads are responding. These kids are like 12. Yeah, yes, they're old enough to know better, but they're still kids. And you're going to berate them and shame them in front of the guy who's been hitting them up, who sounds like he does not know what he's talking about when he's trying to, like, describe what could have happened to these kids. He's bumbling with his words. I would rather there be actual professionals there with them to help have a conversation instead of screaming at and shaming your daughter in front of a stranger. Again, totally know what they did was wrong and a lesson needs to be taught, but I don't like how it's being handled.
I feel like a child psychologist needs to be there.
Yes.
Yeah, and who knows what happens after this kind of thing, but I would like to follow up and find that out. But it is very difficult to listen. But if you got kids that are this age, man, it is, and they're 12, 13, 14 years old, there are some times where you can tell them what the dangers are over and over and over again. And who knows what's been going on with these dads and their kids. And sometimes these hard lessons, man, is the only way to get through to them. Like, you really put yourself in a crazy position here.
Oh gosh, it's so
tough
hard
to watch.
It is, man. It's tough to listen
I don't even
to.
know if I could watch it, honestly.
Yeah, it's hard.
Yeah.
The Bert Show.
Like what you just watched? Well, you can get way more of The Bert Show on Apple, Spotify, Stitcher, or wherever you get your favorite podcast.